Hello everybody and welcome back to part 4 of my step-by-step ultimate booking guide to Warner Brothers Studio Tour tickets. Today we're going to be looking at one of their most premium ticket types, the Deluxe Tour, and I've even got some real life experience from my friend Dara which I'm going to talk to you about today. So what are we waiting for? Let's get going. Okay guys, so you're probably wondering, how much is the Deluxe Tour? So before we get on to talking about anything else, I'm actually going to show you now. So the Deluxe Tour is a £250 tour. That's £250 per person. I will also put the equivalent in euros and in dollars on the screen for you guys now. And it is described as the ultimate VIP experience. But what's in that tour? Now, I will be honest, I've got everything that I want to say in front of me just because I will forget. So if I'm looking down, that is why. So what's included? A 2.5 hour tour with one of our expert guides. So an expert interactor will be taking you on a tour. A delicious breakfast with unlimited tea, coffee and fruit juice. Priority parking next to the studio tour entrance. Digital green screen photos and videos from the broomstick flight over London and the Hogwarts Express carriage. A 1 A3 printed wanted poster and a 1 printed Ministry of Magic ID card. Butterbeer or butterbeer ice cream in the Backlot Cafe with a souvenir cup. Re-entry to the tour after the guided tour to proceed at your leisure. An exclusive photograph in front of the Great Hall doors and a souvenir guidebook and lanyard. It is designed to be the most complete and all-inclusive way to experience the making of Harry Potter. Now, everything that I'm about to talk about is things that Dara has told me from her personal experience from doing multiple deluxe tours. And this isn't official information from the Warner Brothers Studio Tour, but it is what she herself has experienced. So everything I just said was from the official website, and this is what Dara has told me. Now, she's told me that you are in groups of 6 people. However, she has been in groups of 7 where there has been a caregiver with somebody in that group. And a tour guide. So typically there are 6 of you plus the expert tour guide. You start off by having breakfast in a private section in the cafe. Whatever you want from the breakfast menu, plus you get some extra sweet treats. Now, she didn't tell me what they were, but I do know you get a few extra treats. After you've had breakfast, you go into the tour through a separate entrance, which is a section dedicated for deluxe tour people, and then you head on into the movie room. So rather than going through at the main entrance, there's like this bit where you queue up and then you kind of go through and you can see different sets like the cupboard under the stairs, and then they do a bit that's kind of like rotating, so the queue is sort of rotating. So last year they had it set up as the maze from the Triwizard Tournament. I think most recently they've had something for the Magical Mischief. I can't remember what it is, but I know they've had like Luna and a couple of other people like their costumes and that there. So that does rotate depending on the time of year you go, the feature you go, if they've got anything special going on. So they'll probably have something brand new there for the 25 years of Harry Potter. And then when you go through that bit of the queue, there's like a room with screens all around it, and then you get to watch a little mini pre-show before you go in another room which has screens all the way around the top, and you get a little introduction from the interactor, and then you watch like a little introduction video on the top, which makes me very emotional every single time I watch it, and I can actually quote it now. And then you move into the cinema room where you watch another little video, and then it opens and you see the Great Hall doors. Dara did say if you've never done that before, because you will only get to experience going into the private section for the cinema room, when they release you later on to go back through the tour by yourself, you get to choose where you're going from. If you have never been to the tour, she highly suggests that you go back and do that front bit, which I would also say if you've never done the tour, definitely go and do that, because Dara did say that you skip majority of that when you're doing this bit. But when we talk about after your guided tour, I'll explain that a little bit further. Yeah, so you go into the tour for a separate entrance, which is for anybody on the deluxe tour, and then you are taken into the movie room where you have reserved seats within the front row, which means that you'll be able to be the first at the Great Hall doors, which is when they will say, so anybody celebrating a special occasion or a birthday, and then if you put your hand up and let them know, you don't don't have to be celebrating something, but you know, if you are, then definitely let them know. Pull forward and get to open the Great Hall doors, which is really fun. I actually did it on my birthday. I've done it quite a few times recently. After that, you go into the Great Hall. Now, your special exclusive interactor does go with you. However, they do have like a rotational thing with the interactors that are working the Great Hall sequence, so they will allow them to do their spiel because you're going to be in there with the rest of the public, and they'll kind of just back off and be with you guys if you need anything during that time. And then you do get a few extra minutes in the Great Hall when everybody is gone, just to regroup before you go off onto the next bit. After you've regrouped in the Great Hall, your interactor will then take you around and do a 2.5 hour guided tour around there. So you're going to get a very much more personalised and in-depth look at the tour, at different things where you're able to ask questions. Now, the person who you've got is an expert to do with the making of Harry Potter, the studio tour, the films, the books and things like that. So it mean more so the films, but they probably will know about the books as well, as they'll probably get asked questions. So this is the perfect time to, once they finish speaking, to ask questions if you want to have anything clarified, if you have anything that you specifically want to ask. Dara said each interactor is going to do the tour differently. So Dara's had 3 different people focus on different things. So one person has focused mainly on potions, someone's focused more in depth on Gringotts, and somebody else on the arts. Now, they will tell you about like all the different things that you're going to go and see, and they will give you information, but these interactors specifically have focused in and honed in on, that's like their specialised subject, so the thing that they're either most confident talking about, thing they most like, and you will get a different experience each time you go. Dara said she has had a different experience. She said that when you go round, that you don't get the opportunity to take photos. When you're there, you're more there to listen and take it in rather than to take photos and videos. You just simply won't have the time for that because they want to give you the most personalised tour as they can as you're going around. But don't worry, you will get the opportunity for photos a little while later. This, as I said, is also the best time to get questions asked. Not that you can't have questions asked once you're in the tour, but this is a perfect time to have somebody who is dedicated to you and your group where you can ask questions that you may have. Of course, if you have questions later on, then you can ask different interactors as you go around the tour later on. So once you finish the tour, you will go back and get the deluxe special photos, so one of them being the Great Hall doors. You'll get to go back and have specific photo ops, and after that you'll be asked where you would like to be taken to so that you can start your own tour. So after you've had your 2.5 hours of a personalised tour, you get to go back into the tour, but you won't be guided by an interactor, and you can just spend as long as you want to your heart's content. You could stay until closing time if you wish, enjoying it by yourself. Now, you could decide you want to go back to the Great Hall. You could decide that you want to go back to the cinema room. You could decide you want to go through the normal queue and experience that if you've never experienced it before. The normal queue starts just outside of the main shop at the front. You could decide that you want to go back specifically to somewhere. Just remember though, if you get taken back to the second half of the tour, then you're going to have to walk all the way back round to get to the front, so it might be worth starting from the front, but it just depends what you're thinking. But you might also decide afterwards that you want to go home, so it just depends what you want to do. Personally, I would go back in to get photos, to take things in, to watch things again, to speak to different interactors if I'd thought of more questions and things like that. So depending on your group, you may stay together or you may end up going off on your own. So Dara's actually had it where there's been groups where they've stayed together and they've enjoyed the tour together and gone round, again, taken photos of each other and just really got to know each other on a more personal basis. But she's also had experiences where she's gone and then everybody separates off and does their own thing, and she's just gone off and done her own thing with either the people she's been with or by herself and done it at her own leisure and enjoyed herself. So she says she's enjoyed it both ways. Obviously, if you get a group that want to stay together, that's also quite nice, but you might not want to do it at the same speed. Some people might want to go home quicker, some people might want to stay longer. So yeah, I guess it just depends. So just be prepared that you may end up going back into the tour and actually doing it on your own again and not staying with the group that you were originally with. Just a really quick shout out to my members of the House of Magic. I really appreciate all of you. If you guys are interested, then there's a link below, but there's absolutely no pressure to join. But if you did want to see, then everything you need to know is down below. Let's carry on with the video. You do get vouchers, so you get a voucher for breakfast, which you will exchange when you go for your breakfast in the morning. You get photos for your green screens and any of the photo ops that you get the chance to do, so they're all included. Some interactors have said that you can only have one. However, Dara did say that she has been entitled to them all every time she's gone. So they will tell you it's only one, but you are entitled to them all. You're only entitled to one printout though. I think that's what the website said, but you are entitled to get them all. When you go to your first photo op, you hand them over your voucher. They'll exchange it to you for a card. And as you go to each photo op opportunity, they will load that up with photos for you, which you can then download later on, or order more, or it just depends what you want, whether you want to get more printouts. In addition to this, you get a lanyard. It means that you can jump the queues for photos and things like that. All you've got to do is show it. She said she doesn't often use it, but if someone spots you with a Deluxe Tour lanyard, they will just take you to the front. You can also get a voucher for free butterbeer or butterbeer ice cream, depending on what you want. Personally, I'd probably go for the ice cream out of the two, but you'll get it in the souvenir, so either the butterbeer tan card, or you'll get the souvenir ice cream pot. Don't know what to call it. It's going to call it a jar. It's not a jar, but you guys know what I mean. In terms of the vouchers, you will also get a free paperback guide voucher, which means that you can take this in the main store up to the desk and they will swap it for you for one of their free paperbacks, which is really cool. In the main souvenir shop, which is at the end or the front, depending on which one you want, because it's as you go into the building when you first get there, but it's also right at the end of the tour where you finish the tour, so depending on how you say it. The main gift shop will have a dedicated cashier checkout specifically for anybody on the Deluxe Tour. So if you just show somebody your lanyard, then you will skip the queue and you'll get to go to that dedicated checkout, which is really cool. I'm not gonna lie, I actually think that's quite fun, because those queues, guys, those queues can get long. If you haven't seen my full tour of the shop, then make sure you check it out here. I think I show it at the end. If not, I would definitely find some footage and put it in, or I'll put it in the next time I go to the tour, because I am going back very, very soon. In the Forbidden Forest shop, they can take your stuff to the cloakroom out the front, so if you show them your deluxe lanyard, then they'll do that. I will say, when I last went to the tour, they put ours to the cloakroom anyway, and I wasn't doing the Deluxe Tour, so I don't know if that was just a one-off or whether it's only supposed to be for the Deluxe Tour. But yeah, at the Deluxe Tour, if they see your lanyard, they will just take it back round for you. Dara said that apparently they give out treats in Gringotts, but Dara hasn't actually had that herself yet, and she hasn't asked for it, but apparently sometimes they will give you a little treat. I'm guessing it's the Gringotts coins that they give you, but yeah, she said that some people have had it, some people haven't, and she said to make sure that you talk to the interactors, especially your dedicated interactor, because they are a fountain of knowledge and will answer any questions for you. And one of the final things she said was that you can go in and out as much as you like. So as I said at the beginning somewhere of this video, this is your very first time at the tour, make sure you go through that main entrance queue, as it's worth it if you've never visited at all before, because you do skip it under Deluxe Tour. Who is this ideal for? The Deluxe Tour is ideal for first time visitors who want the most complete experience. It will give you a personalised dedicated tour, so you get as much information as possible and then you get given the time to roam. Fans who want to see even more behind the scenes details and talk to somebody again who's dedicated just for you and your group. This can be great for anybody celebrating a birthday, an anniversary or a special occasion, especially as it doesn't come with a cheap price tag. £250 is pretty expensive, but you do get an awful lot for your money. This is also for people who prefer a more guided and structured visit, because the studio tour actually is very unstructured, although you do have like a pattern to follow, so it is kind of like guided in the sense of as you walk round, you know, there's like a sort of structure to walking round. You don't have to follow that. You can go whatever you want, because in some places there are like 2 directions that you could go in. You can just hop over and see what you want. So if you do want something more structured and more guided, and it's at a price level that you are willing and able to pay, then it's definitely worth it for a more guided and structured approach. And it can also just be for people who want a bit of a bundle. If you want photos, food and extras all bundled in for one price, then this can also be perfect for you. Now that you know what the Deluxe Tour includes, both officially from the website and from Dara's real world experiences. The next part of the video is going to be a step-by-step booking guide. I'm going to show you how to find the deluxe tour availability, what the booking page looks like, how to choose your time and dates to make your visit even more magical. So let's jump through into that walkthrough now. Okay guys, so we are starting on the ticket page, and to find the deluxe tour we need to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Well, I say down to the bottom, pretty far down. Yeah, it's pretty much the bottom, where it says the Deluxe Tour. Now, you're going to see next to it something called Twilight Tour. We're going to go over that in next Friday's video, so make sure you're subscribed so you are able to watch it and find out all about the Twilight Tour and see if that suits your needs better than the Deluxe Tour. But for today, we are looking at the Deluxe Tour. So as you can see, it gives you a little brief outline. It says it's 2.5 hour guided tour, butter, beer and souvenir guidebook, priority parking and digital green screen photographs and videos. So we've already learnt more about it at the beginning of this video, so we're going to go into buy tickets. Okay, so we come on to this booking page, which looks pretty similar to the other ones that we have seen in the previous videos, except for this time it tells you about the deluxe packages, the pricing and a little bit of an overview of each of the tickets. Now we are just going to do it from an adult's perspective on this one because the child's price and the adult's price are exactly the same. So there is no point in showing you what it is for a family because it's not going to make any difference towards the price. But let's just say we want to put in 2 people getting a deluxe tour package. So we are going to click continue. As the countdown on the side, we have got the order summary as well. So we're looking at 2. Now we can look at the different prices. So as it is so close to May, we have only got 1 date in May and 1 date in June, but we can look through. So we have the 26th of June, we have a couple of dates in July. These do get booked out very quickly. As it is only 6 people in a tour, they will sell out nice and quickly. They do have 2 bookings. Actually got quite a lot of dates here at the moment for August. They have quite a few for September, quite a few for October. I'm going to go for August, and we are going to go for the 20th of August. I just feel like that's a really fun date. So this one is showing we have time slots for 11:30. Now I did say there were 2 slots, so let me see if I can find one. Here we go. So the 27th of August actually gives us availability. Obviously I know it's only 1 extra time, but that is just that little bit extra chance of being able to book it. And you have tour slots that start at 10:30 and 11:30. So these are the times you would be expected to arrive, I believe. If I'm wrong, Dara, please let me know in the comments down below, because Dara watches all of my videos. If you don't know her, she actually done me some personalised calendars, so I'm going to link those up above. So make sure you go check them out after this video. But you could get a 10:30 or an 11:30 slot. So I'm going to go for a 10:30 slot here, which will come up and show me that it's Thursday the 27th of August at 10:30. Now just because it's 10:30 doesn't mean you can't get in earlier. If you want to turn up a little bit earlier, then feel free. You can just scan your ticket, go through, and they should be absolutely fine with that. And then we are going to click add to order. Now I love the little snitch. I think they're so cute and so fun, and it's going to take us through to our normal booking page. Now with this one you can't actually get it sent to you. You have to collect your tickets at the tour, because what you're going to do is you're going to exchange it in for your lanyard. So you will probably, I'm assuming that you go to the special events or the information desk inside. However, it will tell you on your ticket. And again, if I can find out from Dara, then I will let you know in the pinned comment, just because I am filming this to edit this as soon as I finish filming to go up today for 6 o'clock. Fingers crossed it goes up at 6 o'clock. And then the only card payment method you get is a credit card. Now when they say credit card, you can use a Visa, a debit, a MasterCard, things like that. We have used those on here before, so it doesn't have to be a credit card. And then you fill in all your details, so your first name, your last name, your email address. You confirm your email, you put your phone number in, you're putting your payment information in, your billing address. If you are outside the UK, then you would just change this to somewhere else. As you can see, they have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of different options. Every one of those options, but they do have so many. There's a couple more options underneath, but my screen cuts off before then. And then you put your entire address in. Again, you would go through. Now if you want to read the terms and conditions, you can click this and it will bring it out, so you're able to read the terms and conditions. I'm not going to go through these with you now. If you want to see them, you can go and check out the link below. I'll put it in the description. You can also read the terms of use, the privacy policy, and you can decide whether you want to sign, and then you can decide whether you want to sign up to their marketing. I personally do. I just find it to be really useful, and that's where you get all the information for all the things that are coming through, like all of the new features. If there's going to be any special events and things like that, I get like delivered directly to my inbox, which is fabulous. And then if you do want to know any more, then you can go and see the frequently asked questions at the bottom. But that is everything you need to know about booking the Deluxe Tour at the Warner Brothers Studio Tour. Let me know down below, have you ever done the Deluxe Tour? Did you think it was worth it? Is it something you want to do? If you have done the Deluxe Tour and you've got some information to share, please make sure you share it below. We would love to know more. This channel is all about sharing and learning together. Obviously we do have fun. I do have other videos where we just have lots and lots of good fun, and I've got some really fun things coming up for you guys. You'll actually be getting a really fun video because tomorrow I am going to ride the Hogwarts Express from the new HBO TV series. I am so excited. It's my mum's birthday today, so happy birthday, Mama Kathy. I've booked tickets to go and ride that train tomorrow, so I will be doing that, and I'm going to be going with my mum, my dad, my friend Ellie. So we are very excited, and I can't wait to show you that. That should be coming out on Wednesday, so if that's something you're interested in, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bell on so you are notified every single time I upload. And if you want to see any more of my videos, please click here. I literally just did the video on my mug collection, and guys, it's insane. It's huge. I'm going to have to make a part 2, so make sure you go and check that out. And if you haven't seen any of the other installments, make sure you check those out too. I hope you have a magical day. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye!